what happened, because I remember hearing about that in '95.
Yeah.
And you got, you know what I'm saying? Do you still have family there? Yeah.
My relatives there.
Yeah, did you go there every once in a while?
I was just there.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah, remember I just got back. I was there to St. Patrick's.
But your mom lives in England, right?
Yeah, she was there too.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, I went back home. Almost came my brother and my sister over there.
Yeah.
Family get together.
Yeah, I mean, the hour goes pretty quick.
No, not worried about that. I'm just. Yeah, we can talk, man.
Yeah.
China's project to
Yeah,
destroy
good.
America.
Good.
Also at townhall.com, new polls suggest Americans are divided.
Trevor,
over the
last name's
president's
Lewis.
handling of
Trevor
Trump
Lewis.
TV.
I'll make sure I have the full name so I can.
Trump stance on the economy.
And it's also for public file.
Approval ratings were higher with half of
Let me make sure I
the agreeing with
get
his
full
president
names of
bill.
yes.
Correspondent
I have the
Marcelo
sign.
Sanchez this past week at the Rasmussen and Seniors.
No,
Do
no.
not
it's,
sign your life away.
No, it's
Stands
for the
out
radio station later on
since recent Harvard
in the year. Every 3 months we do public files, so we write down all the guests we have and all the other, all that.
What about the people who call in? You can't.
No, only guests.
You're not
No,
alone.
we don't.
Today's $200 billion video
So,
game
I didn't
hook
just-
skits.
I did put 15:30 and I could have put pressure and I said
Even
it
suicide
in
attempts.
15:30,
According to a
yeah,
recent
you put it
American
right in.
Psychological
I'm like,
Association
push it on.
study, compulsive gaming significantly
You,
increases the risk of severe depression and self-harm among teens.
Oh, is he gonna use the radio, or you can go on an app, right?
Call now for your free
I don't know.
consultation. 800-856-9519. That's 800-856-9519. Big gaming profits while families suffer. Enough is enough. It's time these powerful companies answer for the harm they've caused. This is not a class action. Your family has individual rights, and your voice matters.
Yeah,
Fight back.
but
Open
15:30
the
might be
blood.
15:30 is the best one. AM is basically just
But he's in Pembroke, he's gonna have to get an app.
Yeah,
He's not gonna pick it up.
Well,
Your call matters.
not necessarily. Pembroke, not necessarily.
Yeah. Tell him, for my radio app.
More controversy.
My-
That would be the good, that was the best part, yeah. That'd be the best
That's
part.
fine.
Removed from office after unanimous
Stability
ruling
is
by
not
South Korea's
Huh?
Constitutional Court.
He's probably
To
watching.
get more
And he's
info,
got
correspondent
117.
Marcelo
Yeah, he's doing
Sanchez.
nothing today, man. It's pretty what?
We probably won't get another Red Sox game today either. And they were supposed to do a doubleheader. Which stinks because if they cancel both of the games today, St. Louis can't come back.
So how they gonna make the game up?
They're gonna have to figure it out. The MLB's gonna have to figure it
Well,
out.
that's what they're paying for, to figure stuff out like that.
Exactly, that's what Rob Manfred just paid.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you get paid big money. I'd figure it out. If I was getting that money, I'd figure it out fast.
Opponents say he was trying to deflect attention from corruption investigations into his wife and him.
You'll find breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. A judge has ruled in favor of 4 whistleblowers in Texas.
Whistleblowers said Attorney General Ken Paxton retaliated against them for reporting bribery allegations, awarding his employees more than $6 million in combined damages. Travis County Judge Catherine Mozzie says Paxton violated state law by firing the former employees after they brought forth bribery allegations against his office in 2020. He was impeached and later acquitted by the Texas Senate on the corruption allegations. Jason Walker reporting.
The political battle lines are drawn for a debate in Washington and beyond over a Republican budget plan that's a cornerstone of President Trump's domestic agenda.
Not really, no.
Approved by the GOP-controlled Senate and voted into during session. Republicans hope to leverage their position of power in Washington to enact
It'll work again,
$7 trillion
but a couple
in
trucks
tax
they
rates.
put together for them, but it's whatever.
You'll find more at townhall.com.
I'm doing mine. Drive something else. You know. Yeah,
Probably driving somebody else.
I have been. I'm driving down truck. Somebody else. Yeah, plus my own stuff. But, you know, we'll see. Hopefully, you know. I've been doing a lot of work with the rail. They seem to be busy, so hopefully I will be busy. But we'll see. You know. Yeah. I've been busy. About 5, maybe like 5, 6 big time jobs. Big money jobs, so and I just score a couple of real good jobs, sit on the money,
What? So we start in anytime, my guys, no time, 7 o'clock. Is just
Yeah, right after we go on the air, right after you got
Yes.
stop it on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna use our special banner before the show.
Yeah,
that's fine.
See how that goes. And if not, if I don't like it, I'll just
I think this is the best way to go because you know.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVDF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
He's doing red mic and yellow mic.
What's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns?
What's that other one?
It's time for the Middleboro Week in Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro news, here on AM 1530 W. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Rain. That's what's happening this morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Middleboro in Review. I am Joey Driscoll. I am joined by Don. Good morning, Don.
Good morning.
We're joined by another guest this morning as well, Trevor Lewis. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, Joey.
So we're going to start right off the bat with some weather. As I mentioned, it's raining outside, so not going to be a fun weather report, but it's weather nonetheless that we're always do here on Middleboro in Review. 43 degrees in Middleboro, 55 today for the high, 40 for the low. Rain throughout the morning, might be stopping by the time the Red Sox get underway.
Yeah,
you know,
if
hopefully, exactly. If the Red Sox get
IFF,
underway, of course.
yeah,
You know, because they get a double header in. And if they're not able to get a double header in, boy, that opens up a lot of struggles for the schedule for the MLB later on in the year when they have to make these two games up. But hopefully that's not the case and to get the doubleheader in. Driscoll, Texas. It's going to be a high of 68, low of 53. Driscoll, North Dakota, high of 50, low of 26 today. Currently 28 degrees in Driscoll, North Dakota. Currently in Driscoll, Texas, 54 degrees. And in Taunton, 43 degrees right now, high of 55, low of 40. And we have somebody on the phone, and I believe I know who this is. So let's say good morning, caller. You're on Middleboro in Review.
Hi, it's Mike Stanley in Boston.
Hey, Mike,
good
how you
morning.
doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, it was a pretty interesting talk yesterday, huh?
Yeah, just a contest. We were at the at a tour in Boston of the South Station, and so we ended up talking about transportation.
Yes.
And some of the problems all around the Boston area, and just how to move people and goods more efficiently and faster.
Yes, and you seem to have a little gadget in your hand that really interested me because I walked right over to you after the tour because I'm like that. I'm good like that. Explain real quick what you're proposing. You said you were proposing something?
Well, yeah, we're proposing a podway system around the Boston area. The problem with that we all know in Boston is, the congestion and the pollution and just the time wasting that we have, and also the crashes. And so what we're proposing is a privately financed infrastructure around the Boston area that can eventually replace roadways.
Okay.
Not just the mass transit system.
Would it be on rails? Would it be how would the vehicles would it be rails?
Yeah. So a podway is an elevated ultralight guideway. So you're looking at the width of about a foot and a half, and 2 feet tall. And it's on, I think of it as going along utility poles. If you go to transitx.com, you'll see some videos. But essentially, it will go along the existing roadways, but without taking up space.
Right, and how high would they be off the ground, and how would they, I mean, how would they stop, get out? First of all, how high off the ground would they be, number one?
Well, the bottom is just like a bridge, so it's a 14-foot clearance height. So you're looking at the bottom of the pod is just going over your tallest vehicles, which are your tractor trailers at like 14 feet.
Okay.
And the key thing is that there's no station. There's no large stations. There's just these pod stops. There's just basically vertical lifts. So the idea is the pod can come down to the ground, and you board it or you get in just like you would a taxi. So essentially, it's almost like a fleet of automated taxis, which is a lot less expensive and a lot more convenient, and just operating all the time. You don't have just the hours of operation of a public transit system. It's 24 hours a day, like taxis.
So it'd go down and up, so like a stop area where you'd be picked up would be on a level ground, because they have something like that in West Virginia, in Morgantown. We were talking about that yesterday, but I mean, that's run by rubber rails and more of a cement track over there. But you'd say this would be rails, like standard steel rails, like a railroad track would have?
Well, it's a guideway, so traditional, the systems that you mentioned and other systems are, traditional concrete and rebar and very heavy civil.
Okay.
So lightweight civil means that it's manufactured in a factory, and it's the outside is stainless steel, the inside is a wood core, so it's a very lightweight, and it's using composites to get the strength, so you don't need posts every often.
Okay.
But the problem is that building elevated things are very expensive. So you think of like bridges cost like 100 times more than if you just did a roadway. And since all of the podway is elevated, we had to innovate and make a much lower cost way of doing elevated tracks.
Would it be a cement elevated, like say, a Disneyland monorail situation? Because you're seeing a lot more of those pop up than using steel. But obviously steel is more durable than the concrete, but you're not dealing with the weight, because these pods sound light. They don't sound like they could be a lot of heavy weight.
Yeah, like I could lift up the vehicle, so it's about 100 pounds empty. So compare that to a car, which is 70 times more than that.
Okay, wow.
So the poles are steel. They're galvanized steel, and then the beams are what I said, the composites.
Wow, that's great. Joey, any questions?
Are you looking at any other cities as well in the United States where you're looking to implement this? Whether it's DC or maybe other cities like Atlanta. What are you thinking on that?
Yeah, we have proposals for pretty much every state and all the major cities in the United States at transitx.com. So you can look from the world and also the United States. We're going to propose something for the United States to put a high-speed podway along all the 47,000 miles of the interstate highway system. So think of pods going 150 miles an hour all across the United States, providing non-stop trips that don't have a schedule.
Wow, man. I mean, you got to hold on to a number, because we definitely want to hear some more. At some point in time, you want to travel up to Taunton and be a guest here on the radio station, or you got the number. My son here has a Monday show, he has a Wednesday show, and he has a Friday show. So if you want to call back after the show's over, about 8, can we take the call and we'll get you information? And would that be all right?
Yeah.
You sounds great.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Before we let you go, just give everyone your information, how to get in contact with you.
Your website.
Your website.
Yeah, Mike at transitx.com, and the website is transitx.com.
All right. Well, yeah, give us a call back about, 8:05 maybe.
Yeah.
On this line, and we'll get all your information. And if you want to, we are big transportation oriented shows. Joey and I, we talk about transportation. This is like I said, I walked right up to you. Obviously, I like what I heard. So I mean, I try to and you're on talking, so that's good. But all right, Colin, thank you very much, and we'll be in touch. Give us a call back later on this morning. That'd be great.
Will do.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, we're gonna take our first commercial break right now, reset, and then we're gonna be talking to Trevor Lewis here about music. We're gonna be talking about the island of Montserrat and much, much more here on the show this morning. Open phone lines as well if you want to call in. 508-822-1106 is the number.
And it is our 6th anniversary show.
Technically it is.
Technically.
It is. Yep. Tomorrow will be the actual 6-year mark of the show. So if you want to call in and say something about that as well.
I'll talk to Trevor, but we gotta get the interview going so we know what to talk about.
So let's do that.
All right, yep.
All right, 508-822-1106 is the number, and we'll be right back here on WVF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM.
Wow, he called.
Called.
Wow.
Yeah. I knew he was in.
Yeah.
I knew he was.
What I would
He
like to
sounded
see,
serious.
Huh?
this is what I would like to see.
What? Somebody hit?
No, I'm just wondering what we're on about.
Yeah. 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 Well, they're fine in it. You got a guy out there looking for the money right now? The whole idea is they gotta build fast. They build too slow. I mean, they gotta build fast.
forever.
They take forever. They got an interchange going on in Taunton 140 and 24, and it's been going on for 3 years, and it's just a mess. And then they opened the new railroad, and the entrance is right there, and I get to see a problem with the entrance. They had a contractor already quit over there already, and then they hired somebody else, so, you know. A buddy of mine worked on the Route 24 bridge there, the last one there, Canton Street Bridge there. He said it was a nightmare. It was absolutely a show, you know what I mean? Big time.
Is it because of the town or just getting it?
No, it was just a company. Yeah. Well, they can do it. They can do it because of they had Fast 14. Remember hearing about that up in Medford? They did those 7 bridges, 2 on each side. They dropped those down in 3 months.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle
You know,
Association.
they can do it if they want.
Association of Combat Veterans from all branches.
Same with them, you know. And I was talking to this guy here, and I was just like, yeah, it's all good and well, but how you gonna build it fast? You know, I mean, there's just so much litigation we gotta go through. People don't want these interviews. It has to be connected with other transit agencies. You know what I mean? For what's built. You can't go all burning. He's not getting 47,000 miles. That ain't happening, right?
It's a good idea, but
It's a good idea, but it's like a monorail. It's like a monorail. It's like a Disney monorail.
Various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and support.
but when we went what's that town you
Oh, Vegas. Yeah, they got a monorail coming to the airport. Yeah.
Being on that one,
Yeah. I never went on that. I want to go on that.
yeah.
No clue where my logs went. I had them, and now I don't. So I'm gonna put out new logs.
Cool.
I'll do it at 7:33. Okay.
I think they're on the table. Aren't they at the table in the other room?
What are you looking for, Danny?
I was looking for my logs for today, but it's okay. I'll
Where
put
were they?
them
Right there with a.
Yeah, I think I had them in here, but I'll
Yeah, I was just thinking Danny moved some stuff from there.
it's okay. I'll put them out at 7:30. No huge deal. No huge deal.
Alright, let's keep going.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, 0. And we're back. I turned down the bumper music. There we go. Turn down the monitor there so we're not echoing. And say good morning again to Trevor Lewis as we start the interview with him. First thing we're going to focus on is music. So, Trevor, what are some of the music genres you'd like to listen to?
Well, first of all, I like every music genre. I'm somebody who listens. I mean, like Don and I go through music all the time, and I listen to every music. I love every music. But my favorite music is reggae, calypso, and soca because I'm Caribbean. And not only that, I'm Caribbean, but there's something about that music that catches me. But every genre, I'm there. I'm with it.
I'm a huge fan of reggae as well, and
Okay.
Don is as
Oh,
well.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think we all grew up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone starts with Bob Marley and moves on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jimmy Cliff,
Peter Tosh.
Yeah, there's a band called Third World that I remember somebody turned me on to.
Well, I think I turned you on to that because we discussed reggae so much that,
Yeah,
like I told you, Bob Marley was really
it's funny. I worked with a guy in Quincy. We called him Chief
okay.
because he was. That's what my boss called him, and he's Native American Indian, but he just loved reggae. He just. And that was my introduction to reggae, was that and My Little Friend. And that was back in like 1986. So obviously it's Bob Marley right off the bat, because he's the most popular.
Right.
So it's,
But as I've said to you before, Bob Marley, yes, is the most popular, but there's a lot of other guys, like you mentioned, Jimmy Cliff, Third World.
yeah,
There's like Dennis Brown, for example.
right,
They call him the Prince of Reggae.
right,
And there's Gregory Isaacs. There's a lot of young guys coming up now. I mean, reggae has kind of evolved or transitioned. Things have they changed a bit, but the roots itself of reggae still remains. The beats, everything is there.
right,
Right.
A lot of reggae, it's a lot of backup.
Mhm.
Rita Miley on the
Mhm.
backup,
Mhm.
and the girl she had working with her. I mean, it's just a
I
lot.
said if it's for
You want to get gospel in a little bit way too, a little bit. You know what I mean? But that's a whole different genre too. But I mean, just the whole female backup thing, I really dig. I mean, I really think that's something that I like to listen to anyway. As far
Yeah, it also gives you that little laid back, relaxing feeling.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
It's not a
You
stress.
don't right. You
no
just
stress.
sit down and listen to reggae. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't worry about the thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right. Just relax and you're all set.
Oh.
Mhm.
I give me a little influence. There was a song by the Scorpions called "Is Anybody Out There?" One of the a great song. It's the kind of like a reggae beat, and I was getting you to listen to it. Finally got around to listen to it, and you recorded it.
Yeah, I recorded it,
and
yeah.
you did good.
Yeah,
And you liked the song. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's you're talking a German heavy metal band.
Yeah, it's funny how I never heard that song. I even heard about the Scorpions, but when you introduced me to it, that was real good. They were good.
That was a great song.
Yeah, they were good. I was really impressed.
For a German band. So
Yeah.
that's the influence that reaches out. I mean, if it was created in the Caribbean, because everyone says Jamaica or
Right,
whatever,
right,
right? All these bands all over the world. I mean, UB40, another band.
Mhm.
There's just a lot of even Sublime.
Sublime, yes.
Yeah.
Sublime.
Big reggae influences. I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think almost every band out there is touched on it at one point or another.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. It's all over the world now.
right.
It's worldwide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reggae is all over the world.
So how long have you been? You obviously performing, writing, making music. How long have you been doing that?
For years, at least 40 years.
40 years.
Well, I've been doing it since I was going to school. Actually,
Right.
I was writing songs and practicing with playing my little guitar and stuff.
Now,
Even before I did any recording.
I mean, obviously you have a lot of originals, right?
Yeah.
How would you say how many originals would you say you have in your repertoire?
I could have about 100.
100?
I could
I
have at
mean,
least
built songs built.
Yeah, I have a lot of songs. Yeah.
Really?
Well, the thing is with a lot of artists, then, right? For example, most of their songs never get released or anything like that. Most of them stays in the studio. You know that,
Right.
right? You write, and then you try and pick some out.
Right.
But if I had to go and check what I have on file, it's a lot of songs.
Some people who, a lot of people who write songs,
Mhm.
especially do originals, but they do a few covers.
Mhm.
And what they do is when I like a cover, well, take for instance that Scorpions, anybody out there, there's other bands who put it on YouTube because it's around that. So if you listen to that and you get enough plugs and you get enough, clicks on it, then your song will pop up in and around that as far as looking for it. Because someone happens upon it. If they want to listen, say, to the Scorpions, they happen upon you because that's the next video up or down. And they're like, oh, wow. So, I mean, I think YouTube has a lot to do with getting things rolling for people because you start out with almost a cover because, I don't know the 100 songs that you have, so I can't dial it in, but I can dial in my favorite song, you do a cover of it, and boom, I'm on Trevor Lewis right now. All your videos are popping up. You're like, oh, I like this guy. Oh, I like his voice. Oh, there's something about him, and then boom, that's a name you never you never forget. And that's how he's got a lot. Joey's got a lot of music.
Oh yeah,
a lot of music. So I think YouTube is the best way of distributing music, putting it out there, and listening and getting a new, version of something that's new because everyone likes something new and fresh. Really?
Yeah. Another artist that me and Don really like is Gil Scott Heron, and a lot of what he has done in his career.
Have you heard of Gil Scott Heron?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
He's very, very good. And me and Don just went a couple of years ago went to go see a film where his music was in it.
His newer music.
His newer music was in it, and a very important part of the film.
What's the name of that song?
Forgetting the name of the song off the top of my head, but it's a newer one. I think it came out in 2010. So a lot of his music is still being used in certain movies and things like that. And he had a very important career in music.
Well, the bass, the horns. There's a song he does in 1981 called "Gun."
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
That is really, I mean, talk about, the horns and the guitar and stuff like that. And then there's another movie called, another song called B Movie.
Oh, that's my favorite.
You know what? It's funny though? It's a political jab, okay?
Yeah.
But it's
an
respect.
it's an anti-Reagan song.
Right, but it's respectful.
It is.
It's respectful. It's just like, what happened to respect? I mean, you can not like somebody or have a protest song against somebody, but you can do it in a respectable way. And he did it in a respectable way back from 1981. All right? He doesn't, it's just like, you listen to it and I like it. I mean, maybe I don't agree with it, but whatever. I mean, it's irrelevant. That happened 25, 30 years ago. It doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
But is it still being played?
I don't know. I never heard on the radio.
Okay.
I never heard on the radio, but I like it.
Yeah.
And I share on Facebook every once in a while, and I get a lot of whatever. But it's just it's a really good.
And it's really good. It's a really important song too.
Yeah.
For the time.
So as far as your writings, have you play out much, or do you get together with people, or?
Well, let me say this.
Get anything going on coming
I
up?
played out so many times. I've done shows, but since COVID, actually, I pulled back and I haven't really gone out again. I mean, like a few weeks ago, someone just called me, wanted me to come and do some gigs or something with them.
Yeah.
But I kind of like said no.
Right.
I'm kind of taking it easy.
Well, you work full time too.
I work full time, so it's kind of tough sometimes to get out there for rehearsals.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if you play the bands yourself.
Yeah.
And you know how difficult it could be sometimes to get rehearsals and to get individual people together to come to rehearse on time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So for me, working my shift
Yeah.
at that time of the day, for me to go out and probably rehearse until 12 o'clock at night, as I've done before,
Right.
to come home.
And when you get up at 3 in the
When
morning,
I
you
get
got
up
to
at 3
work.
in the morning to get to work, that's
Yeah.
kind of
It's
tough.
Yeah.
It's
So
tough.
it's tough.
And with that, we're going to take our news break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about some music, and then we're going to talk about the Island of Montserrat as well, coming up later on. in the hour as well. And your phone calls, 508-822-1106 is the number to call. But let's take our news break right now here on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. Alright, and then takes a second. We'll send it. There we go.
Slow today, huh? Little?
No, well, the news, it takes 7 seconds. So, that's just
Yeah, Joey, it's around somewhere. I moved it.
I know. I'll be
I know that's the end of the thing.
I think I handed it to you, Joey.
Yeah, but I can't find it, so.
Is it over there in that thing there? The white down at the bottom there? Looks like.
Joey, it's on the bottom.
Sure.
I think it's on the bottom shelf.
Bottom shelf?
Yeah, I think that's it because I remember him taking it up.
bottom shelf. Over here?
Is it that white paper, that white sheet up there?
No,
Oh.
that's not it. No. I'll
You don't have to print it, Joey.
I'm going to
I'll find it for you. I'll find it for you.
find it, put it aside, and then
There's a staff shakeup involving intelligence and national security employees. White House correspondent Greg Cluxton has that.
The Trump administration fired
Right
the
there.
top two officials of the National Security
Yeah, those
Agency.
are all for Saturday.
Also headed the Pentagon's U.S.
all right,
Cyber Command. And President Trump acknowledged the firing of several White House National Security Council officials. The shakeup came a day after far-right activist Laura Loomer met with the president to discuss cash oil.
if I have to find them, I'll put the other ones aside
She
for,
had nothing to do with the recent firing. Greg
put the other ones
Cluxton.
aside.
Oh no, that's not it.
U.S. Air
Yeah, no.
At least 2 people were
That
dead in
was
a
great.
stronghold of Yemen.
Oh, here they are, Joe.
Where?
The reports by the
Okay.
themselves.
Oh, no.
That ain't it.
Alright, whatever.
I don't know where the heck they went.
Yeah.
They just disappeared.
Yeah.
Things just like disappear sometimes.
Is there a ghost in the studio?
I gotta watch this. Here.
Alright. There's an artist I want to bring up that I found in my YouTube music. What do you call it? Treasure hunting. I found Pat Kelly a couple of years ago. I think I brought this up to you, Pat Kelly. He's from Jamaica. He's reggae. And he's really good.
What song does he do?
Give Love a Try.
Okay.
You heard of him?
I must have. There's so many reggae artists out there from Jamaica that some of them don't even make it up to the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so much competition.
Yeah.
And there's so great Jamaicans. I mean, I'm from Montreal. Other islands are there, but there's hardly any other island that comes near when it comes to reggae, the Jamaicans.
Right.
They just have that gift.
Well, it's just when you think reggae, you think Jamaican. You
Right.
think,
Well,
well,
You think the
everyone-
Marleys, yeah?
Mm.
You think
The Marleys?
you think Bob Marley first,
Right, right. And he's in Jamaica.
and then Jimmy Cliff.
Mhm.
You know?
There's a guy from London. I mean, he's Jamaican roots. Maxi Priest. You heard of Maxi Priest?
Yeah.
You should listen to Maxi Priest song.
Yeah.
You should mark that. Maxi Priest.
Maxine Priest.
Yeah.
And then people outside of the reggae sphere who listen to like hip hop and stuff, they know Sean Paul.
Oh yes. Shaggy.
Yeah, Shaggy as
You know what I'm
well.
saying, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, but Maxi Priest, growing up, he was just he's still performing. Mhm.
Hi caller, you are on Middleboro Review, but we are on a commercial break. Oh, Paul. Yeah. Hold on 1 second, Paul. We're
I got my love
1
letter.
minute.
Paul, I got my love letter. I got my love note. Say hello to Trevor Lewis. We have him in the studio. We're talking. These are reggae, R&B performer, singer, writer, everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm good, Paul. How are you? That's a good question.
Yeah, we keep
That,
asking them.
that we'll have to arrange with Don.
Under the bridge.
Yeah, I mean, Don and I were supposed to be doing something together for a while now, but somehow we just seem to can't get that to come off. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, you know, we're looking for a drummer and a place to play.
I'm back in action again.
Yeah, nice, good, good,
Yeah.
nice.
All right, we got about a
You-
minute, and then we'll be back on the air.
Hey, Paul,
Yeah, how was it?
it was good, actually.
Yeah, very good.
She wants to give us a private tour in June. We're formally inviting you to go if you can go. She,
I will.
yeah, she wants to give us a private tour. So
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
I told her I'd buy a lunch after it, but yeah, she wants to give us a private tour at some point. So we'll let you know. It might be. Are you working now, or are you off, or what's your story?
Well, I don't work on Saturdays, or during the week, I don't have my summer teaching schedule yet, so, and it's usually Tuesday and Thursday that I'm waiting, so, I've been pretty much wide open for.
All right. You said Tuesday and Thursday usually work, or you don't know?
I don't know yet.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to play it by ear.
It's a little bit different, so I'll wait to, well, I should be getting that soon, and then, in that case, I'll let you know. That'd be great. I want to know that. I'll work before you start.
Yeah, it was good. It was a lot of people though, so it was kind of a little
Yeah.
nerve-wracking.
A lot of people in South Station.
Yeah, when we were outside, it was raining, and they had that
Yeah.
big protest. It was wall-to-wall people, so it was.
Yeah.
But they took us in the Excella Lounge a little bit, so. But she's a nice lady. She's a real nice lady.
All right, here we go. 3,
Okay.
2, 1, and 0. And we are back. So turn down above music. There we go. All right, and we have on the phone with us the host of Cranberry Country Journal, Paul Lazarovich. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Don. And I want to say happy anniversary. This is year number 6. Am I correct?
Yes, it is. Yep, that's officially tomorrow.
Year 5, 364 days, but year 6 will be tomorrow. So technically, yes. So year 6 tomorrow.
Congratulations! Wow.
Yeah.
It's that's quite an honor, and I know, Joe, that you work hard, and just to put on 2 different shows, Middleboro and Review, Middleboro Matters, about 6 years. Middleboro and Review, that's great. Okay, so name every guest that you've had on. No, I'm only kidding.
I'd have to look back.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you. So tell me. I'm sorry I tuned in late this morning, but can you give me one of the highlights of your show in all 5 years?
One of my highlights. Well, today's a pretty good highlight. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got 2 great guests here. That's great. I had a guest on earlier in the show as well, which had a lot of great information too. So today, I would say today's highlight for me when it comes to shows.
Yeah.
For at least this year.
My highlight is all the great work that Joey's done for St. Vincent de Paul, the food pantry of Middleborough.
Yeah.
Because we've had so many people on for that charity, and I think we've done a lot for it. And that's something that Joey took on his own. I've given him a lot of good ideas, sent guests his way and whatnot. I mean, that's what a good dad does. But this whole St. Vincent de Paul food pantry thing was on his own, and he started during the pandemic. And it was a real important time to push it, especially through the radio station. And we got all the support of management and everybody helping him doing commercials and stuff. He was new at doing commercials, so I mean that gave him a little edge on doing the commercials too. So that's my proudest moment as far as the show is helping people. And then having all the great guests we talked about yesterday on your show.
Yes.
But I mean, even yourself calling in and stuff like that, you're just a great host and you're a great friend.
Well, thank you. I feel the same too, but I want to take us back, Joe, to that first show. What was going through your mind? And were you nervous? And you're just so smooth behind the board now. Nothing ever goes wrong, but
it was
what that
horrible.
first show like for?
It was horrible.
Yeah, it was rough.
No. Really?
Yeah, I did not have a fun time. At least during that first show. I mean, going forward, I started to build up the confidence, and then now it's second nature, But that first show was not fun.
Yeah. Do you remember what made it not fun, and what nervousness you had to get over? Was it working the board?
No, I think I knew how to run the board already, so that wasn't really the issue. I think the topics. I think the topics of the show, because it was I think it was right after an election. It was right after a town election. So first show, right off the bat, you got to talk about town elections and the results and all of that, and make sure you report them correctly. So that was a little stressful.
Well, and being nervous too, because you either make it or you break it.
Exactly.
And so that's important. And I think that was you get a little nervous. I was nervous, and then I asked Tony Lopes, "Is it okay if I hop in and be his COA?" He said, "Absolutely." You know what I mean?
And speaking of town elections, there was a town election in Middleboro yesterday. We will report those results, or I will report those results tomorrow on Middleboro Matters. So
that's great.
Stay tuned.
That's wonderful. And how about, I know that you two are always on the ball when it comes to transportation topic, and back then, 5-6 years ago, did you think that rail line would ever come through?
I thought it would eventually. I just didn't think it would take that long to do it. And they're still having issues with it.
Yeah, they're having crew issues.
Yeah, they're still having.
There was a train that was an hour late because no one showed up for work, so they don't have they don't have the crew availability right now. I don't know. It's you look at the schedule. It's horse feathers.
It's a nightmare.
It's horse feathers to say it rated G like.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
it's a nightmare.
You're going to hear it first on Middleboro in Review, folks, but all the listeners and people out there listening, let's get Don Driscoll to work as a conductor on the rail line. They will have no problem. So we need to write in and get Don as a conductor on the new Fall River, New Bedford rail lines, and things will be running smoothly. With Don as a control.
You know what? That would be great because Trevor won't have to hear me complain about my job all the time.
And Paul, one other thing here before we let you go here. What is your favorite reggae artist?
Well, I like reggae and ska, and I like what the Mighty Mighty Bosstones have done, the ska version of it. And the reggae, it's got to be the master. And do you know who that is?
Oh,
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, yeah. Bob Marley. He's just the best. And now his son is carrying on his tradition, but you know what?
Ziggy's really good.
I'm a drummer, been playing for years, but I just have trouble playing that reggae beat. It's really, people think, oh, it's so simple. It's not. I think it's very distinctive. It's you've got to be right on because you're carrying that the vibe of the music. So I give credit to reggae musicians, and I'm not good enough to play in a reggae band, so I'm gonna have to take a rain check. Sorry.
You can learn. Tell him I said you can learn. It's easy.
Trevor said you can learn.
It's easy.
Trevor does all his own instruments. He does all his own 200 songs to his credit.
Wow.
And I even influenced to do one song that I like. So that was good because he kind of did it for me, right?
yeah, that was
awesome. But thank you for calling, Paul.
Thank you so much.
And again, happy anniversary to Middleboro in Review, and let's all work hard to get Don as the musical conductor on the Bedford and Fall River line, and we'll have Trevor play live on one of the train rides from Fall River to New Bedford. How's that?
All right. We'll work
good.
on it. We'll call the team.
All right, yeah. All right, thank you, Paul.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary. We'll talk to you later, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So another. We were talking about Jimmy Cliff earlier, and something came up in my head that I wanted to talk about. One of his last songs, one of his last albums. He had I think he had a minor hit with one of his last songs. It's called One More, and I've listened to that thousands of times at this point. It's a really good song, and you know, to have like songs like that he's done late in his career. He is one of the amazing reggae artists out there. I'm a little younger, so a lot of reggae that I listen to is like stuff like Peter Tosh. So I gravitate a little bit more towards Peter Tosh.
His
Obviously,
last album?
Peter Tosh.
His last album?
We Don't Want Nuclear War. That's the song
Yep.
I gravitate towards when it comes to Peter Tosh, and then other songs as well that he's done. But I love Bob Marley, of course, and another artist that I've gotten into pretty well is Pat Kelly, and he is from Jamaica. He passed away in 2019. He has done a lot of great things in his career. He started in 1969 and ended in 2012. It looks like his last album was. He had a couple of hits, and his music I gravitate towards quite a bit. And there's an album, "Give Love a Try," and the song on there, the single on there, the title track on there is amazing, absolutely amazing. So
it just puts you in a good mood. It really does. And you know what? I've never seen this guy. I technically work with him. Okay, in a way. Okay, like I say, where, but you know what I mean. But I see him every day. You know what I mean, Trevor, and he's always in a good mood. I've never seen him. I've known Trevor for 35 years, a long time, right? So I've never seen him in a bad mood. Maybe it has something to do with that, the disposition, the music. You know, music's the healer. Because you can be upset, you can be stressed out in life, but sometimes the music will help you. So, you know, you want to talk about Masseret?
Let me say one more thing before you switch to the island itself. Well, we could switch to the island, but the other genre that we do, which is also for relaxing too, it's calypso and soca. For instance, that song, it's like worldwide, hot, hot, hot. Everybody knows that song pretty much.
Yeah.
That song was created in Montserrat, my island.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that.
Right.
Because what's his name? Buster, is it Buster, right? The guy that did it over. Yes, I think he was.
I think it might have been Buster.
What's the Poindexter?
Poindexter,
Buster
right?
Poindexter,
Yeah,
David
right,
Johansen.
right.
He just passed away actually.
Okay,
about a month ago. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He did it over, so it pushed it out more, and a lot of people probably thought that was his song.
Right.
But it came from Montserrat.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean one of the guys that actually wrote it just passed away last year too.
Okay.
But I have a friend who lives in Connecticut.
Right.
He was the main guy who wrote that song, because back home we have competitions, calypso competitions.
Right.
So you have like the King and stuff like that, the Calypso King, Soca King.
Yep.
So these two guys were probably the two best out of Montserrat, other than the guy who sang that, the Mighty Arrow.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you listen to that song, everywhere you go, you could pretty much hear that song being sung at parties and stuff like that. It came from my island in Montserrat.
That's funny because David Johansen, who made it famous,
Right,
obviously, came from the New York Dolls, which was almost a punk band.
Mm-hmm.
Then went on to doing his Animal Melodies, and then he went on and formed Buster Poindexter.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got somebody like David Johansen who kind of reinvented himself like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And it took something that maybe was obscure at the time and turned into a hit. I love when things like that happen. You know.
All right. Now to the island of Montserrat. A little bit about the island first. Reading this off of Wikipedia, so I hope some of this information is correct.
Okay.
But I'm reading this off of Wikipedia. So, the sovereign state of the United Kingdom, English settlement of 1632. There's a couple of other dates on here as well. The Treaty of Paris, September 3rd, 1783. A federation starting on January 3rd of 1958, and then becoming a separate colony May 31st, 1962. The capital, so there's a couple of things here with the capital. The de jure capital is Plymouth. The de facto capital is Bradis.
Braids.
And also, there's another capital I have on here that says under construction. That's Little Bay.
A little bit. Okay. Let me. Can I?
Yes.
Let me go in here. Now, in 1995, the volcano started erupting in Montserrat. Plymouth, as you said, it was the original capital forever then, until that time. But because of the destruction of Plymouth and other areas around there, at least, I mean, 2/3 of Montserrat was destroyed by that volcano. So most people had to move out of Montserrat or move to different areas. Take in fact that Montserrat is so tiny. Montserrat is a very small island. Okay, it's shaped like an avocado, if you just imagine. And then the longest point from point A to B is only 11 miles, and the widest point is only 7 miles. So just imagine an island that small having such a massive volcano.
It's like driving from here to like Colorado.
Seriously.
That's about
That's how small it is. So Plymouth was completely wiped out. I'm from the east, where the airport was. That area was totally wiped out. The south totally wiped out. So we have that Braids and St. John's area, Salem, certain areas that some people stayed. So like Montserrat at its peak probably had 12,000 people maximum. We never had any more than that. So at this point now we're down to like maybe 4 or 5, because as I said, most people moved out to England, America, different parts of the world. So Braids and could now be considered the capital of Montserrat, because that's where most of the businesses and stuff have moved, because those are in the northern section of Montserrat. I was just there a few like 2-3 weeks ago, because Montserrat is one of the only countries or islands in the world that still celebrate St. Patrick's. If you check Montserrat, right, almost every parish had an Irish name: St. John's, St. Peter's, St. Anthony, everything.
Right.
So every year we have a big celebration for St. Patrick's Day. So every now and then I'll go home.
Now they got an airport.
We have a little tiny airport.
So where do you have to fly out of to get? Are you Cessna? Like Cessnas or small jets?
No. For me to get home, I'd have to fly from here to JFK or Miami or someplace, and catch a jet from there to Antigua, which is like 30 miles from Montserrat, and then you have to get a little tiny plane. I'll show you some photos when you come to work. I'll show you some photos of us in the plane,
Right.
Like a little 6-seater.
Yep.
So that's where you have to catch to go. But before the original airport you had much bigger planes, but now we can't, because there's hardly any space, and Montserrat is pretty hilly, so there's much space to build
Right.
a proper airport.
Was that a small airport always there, or did they have to?
No. The original airport was in the east.
Right.
Now this one again close to Braids, so that was just built probably early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s.
So tell me about the exclusion zone. First of all, the volcano happened in 1995. Was it a surprise? Did they see it coming? Many people pass away from being in the blast zone. And what's the exclusion zone look like now? Obviously, you're not allowed to go in the exclusion zone. It's
No.
fine, right?
No, if you go into the exclusion zone, you'll have to be escorted or get some permit or somebody, but you cannot just go in there.
So there's nothing going on in there. Nothing.
I mean, some people go in there on tours, right? But as I said, you'll have to be escorted and have special permits also. But going back to your question, when the volcano started erupting, it was always being monitored, because they did notice some differences. It was always there. There was always steaming, and I remember going to school. We used to go to the volcano for school trips and stuff and get sulfur. But then you notice changes in the mountain, the roads, things cracking and stuff. So it was being monitored, but no one expected it to erupt. We never expected that volcano to
Was it
erupt.
a big eruption?
No.
Okay.
We were very lucky in the.
So you can't compare it to Mount St. Helens.
No, we were very lucky, because what happened, it started giving signs right? I mean, there were times when the mountain would sound like a jet, some real loud noise. So then people, I mean, you became more cautious and like paying more attention to it. But what happened again? When I said we were fortunate, it didn't just blow hot lava. There were times when it would blow and it would be cold stuff coming out of it like concrete. But then I think it was 1997. There was one big eruption that killed like 20-something people. Yeah, and then after that, it was just no one was supposed to be over there. Because at first, people still lived within certain areas of it.
Right, but
Then
97
after
was the big
that,
one.
that was it. Everybody had to head to the north
Wow,
or get out.
wow. So everything's like overgrown, it's like almost an apocalypse kind of.
No, it's not overgrown yet because some of it is coming back. But if you go online and you see Montserrat, they have updated photos. Even when I was there, we went and looked. It's a lot of the area is still just barren, just clear, no trees, nothing.
Right.
Right. So that's gonna take maybe several hundred years.
Okay, yeah.
100 years before that comes back to what it
So
was
everything
before.
got cooked when they,
Yeah.
alright.
Yeah.
The population as of 2022, according to Wikipedia, is 4,309.
That's what I'm saying, that we don't have much more than that still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, a couple of other things about the government of Montserrat. It's a parliamentary dependency under the constitutional monarchy, which means the monarch is Charles III.
Yeah.
That means also some of their other people, they come from Britain as well. Governor, Sarah Tucker. Premier is Reuben Meade.
Mead.
Meade, there we go, thank you. And then the minister is Stephen Doherty.
Okay.
So that is
Yeah,
what's
so yeah,
going on
Irish name, right?
there.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You drive on the left side. Yeah.
Oh, how do you like that? How do you like that? Are you used to that or what?
Yeah, I'm used to go. Whenever I go home, I have to really focus. You got remember, Trevor, you're driving on the left, not on the right now. You know,
Right.
but it becomes easy because the car's there. It's not like the steering is on the left like here. It's on the right.
Yeah.
So you have to keep. You're in the middle of you have to. The left side is gonna be there, right?
Yeah.
So it's it takes a little bit to get used to, but once you start, you'll be fine.
Yeah, it'd be hard because you're used to being, your driver's side being in the gutter.
Right.
So,
right.
I mean, it's
But
just,
the other thing, I'm trying to invite for years I've been trying to invite a couple of my friends over, my coworkers and stuff. Mark,
Yep,
Bill,
yep,
you,
Yeah.
all those guys come over. One of these days, you guys
Yeah.
gotta come over and see. It'll be nice.
yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
And we got about a minute left here on the show, so I want to end
Okay.
on this. In Braids, Montserrat, 78 degrees right now. It's going to be a really nice day today. It's going to be 79 degrees with a low of 76, and it's going to be really nice.
Yeah, it's really cold, yeah.
Yeah, really cold here. And our today in history is 1808. John Jacob Astor incorporates the American Fur Company that would eventually make him America's first millionaire. 1841, U.S. President John Tyler is sworn in 2 days after having become president upon William Henry Harrison's passing. 1866, the Grand Army of the Republic, the American patriotic organization composed of Union veterans of the American Civil War, and that is founded on this day in 1866, and that lasts until 1956. 1896, in Athens, the opening of the first modern Olympic Games is celebrated 1,500 years after the original Games is banned by the Roman Emperor at the time. 1917, World War I, the United States declares war on Germany. 1930, at the end of the Salt March, Gandhi raises a lump of mud and salt and declares, "With this, I am shaking the foundations of the British Empire." Birthdays on this day: 1923, Herb Thomas, American race car driver. 1937, Merle Haggard. And 1978, Tim Hasselbeck. Passage on this day: 1676, John Winthrop the Younger, first governor of Connecticut. 2014, Mickey Rooney passed away on this day. 2016, Merle Haggard passed away on this day.
Wow.
Yeah,
Was
his
his
birthday
birthday?
and his passing
Wow.
on the same day. Yeah. In 2017, Don Rickles passed away.
I love Don Rickles. Oh, Don Rickles. He was awesome as Oddball in Kelly's Heroes. He never, somebody is my favorite line from him.
All right, so that'll do it for today's program.
Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you, Trevor,
You're
for
welcome.
being.
Joining all the way from Maserati.
Yeah, I respect that. Thank you guys for having me. Also,
So you're gonna get back on your Cessna and go back home, right? Then I'll see you tomorrow at work, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Could either do the Cessna or
Yeah.
a ferry.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening to today's program. Middleboro 2025 election results tomorrow on Middleboro Matters. Until then, have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Danny, thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate you
Yeah.
showing up early. I know it's rough on Sunday.
I hate lateness.
Huh?
I hate lateness, so I would be late. I would be here before you had run straight by.
Yeah.
And then went into some sort of
Yeah, you're welcome to come back anytime you want. You want to come back during the summer or something like that, let me know.
Yeah, I'll
All
come
right.
back another day.
And whatever, you know what I'm saying? We can go from there.
Yeah, we have to start playing some music together though.
Yeah, we will. My buddy has a place right across the bridge to play. So
Okay.
we could just take you over there, my buddy Mark. You know, he's got drums, he's got everything, you know,
Okay.
lights, everything.
That'd be good.
U.S. airstrikes have killed at least
Okay, I will use one show.
Yemen's Houthi rebels. That's according
All right, I'll see you.
Yeah, we use one show.
And for the Facebook, I don't think you can see this because of the glare. No, you can't see it because of the glare. I was trying to show the Facebook here a picture of the island of Montserrat. Unfortunately, there's too much glare.
Joey,
Yes.
thank you, man.
Thank you so
for having
much.
me.
Thank you.
Danny, am I gonna get a picture with Joey or what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Russia said the death toll from Russia's attack on the city of Kyiv on Friday continues to grow.
All right.
Boy, Joey.
6th anniversary show video photo. Ready?
Have been declared for that.
Nice.
Right.
One more. Big smiles. Come on, smiles, everybody. Mr. Rock.
Yeah.
Yes,
All
yeah.
right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Joey, thank you for having me, right?
Yeah.
It's good to see you too, man. I haven't seen you for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it.
Suddenly lost your transmission
Yeah, right down on
or
the
needed a
down
full
the
engine
hall there
repair?
on the
Would
right.
a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan.
Oh.
Endurance handles everything from making
Yeah.
the claim to
Guy
paying
was
the
calling.
certified mechanic of
You
your
call?
choice.
The guy was
Add
calling, and I
now
didn't even
one
see him.
full year of
Let's see if he
elite
calls back.
benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-289-6016. That's 800-289-6016. 800-289-6016.
Okay. I'm gonna do.
You got caller ID?
Yeah. He's calling. I think he. That's him. So let me get this and say, "Good morning, caller." Hey, 1 second. Dawn,
Yeah.
come here. This is the caller.
Yeah, you gotta get the information. If you
Yeah,
want
we're
him
gonna
to
get
be
the
on your
information. Yes.
show. So it's all you, Joe.
Yeah, but I gotta. You gotta get it because I gotta get.
How you
I gotta
doing?
get this program going.
We got it right on. Yeah, we got it right on, Joe.
Uh,
All right, well, so let's find a piece
Yeah,
of
let's
paper
find a
for
piece
you
of
real
paper.
quick, okay?
yeah.
Um,
No problem. Just one second, caller.
Can I just give you my cell phone number? And you can call me on my cell, that'll be easier. Want to do that? All right, I'm going to give you two of them. My name's Donald Driscoll. It's 508-725-2334. Oh, and my son Joey, who runs the show here, is Joey Driscoll, 774-400-2311. They call him back in about maybe 10 minutes. You'll be all set to take all the
Like
info?
2 minutes.
Yeah, he's good. He's just flipping to another show.
Yeah, I just flipped it now, so
Okay.
you can call me back in like a minute.
Yeah, call him on his phone, the 2311,
Yeah.
and because he does a few shows and whatever. You can come here live if you want to take a ride to Taunton. We'll have you in the studio. It's up to you. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Just call him on the cell and he'll get all the information, and then we'll be able to give you more time, okay?
All right, we'll talk to you in about 1 minute.
All right.
Yeah, bye.
Give me a key, Joey.
Is the Reverend Ortez Vandermark. Full Gospel Tabernacle is a church where we enter to worship and exit to serve. We enter to worship our risen Savior Jesus Christ, and we exit to serve our humanity. Why don't you call a neighbor or call a friend and tell them that the table is spread and the feast of the Lord is going on. Now let's go into the sanctuary of Full Gospel Tabernacle Church and hear the uncompromising Word of God.
I want to preach a word today. This
Bye, everybody.
word is for our deacons and deaconess. The Lord laid me upon your heart some weeks ago.